have an amazing guest with us, Mr. Kanwar Ji, and it's a different type of thing I'm trying to do, because most of all, आप जो देखते हो with the bureaucrats and other offices, first time we are trying to get the life of hotel here. So congratulations, sir, and it's a pleasure, not congratulations, a pleasure to have you. थोड़ा सा basic शुरू करते हैं. Of course. I have zero knowledge. Of course. So your role and what you are calling.
All right. So I had the front office department over here as a front office manager. In Radisson Blu, Jammu, we have around 119 rooms,
okay,
including the suites that we sell. So I basically take care of all the accommodation part of it, starting from welcoming the guests. We're basically called as the face of the hotel. So from the moment you enter the hotel, we are the one who greet you, we welcome you to the hotel. We give you that leisure, luxury feeling. So you enter the premises, you check in, we give you that the feel of staying in a 5-star hotel. And then from there, going to the room until you stay with us and you check out, and even after the departure. So everything we take care of that, including the pre-arrival bookings, and if you're arriving for, let's say, some special occasion, so we take care of any arrangement that needs to be done.
Okay.
Post-departure, in case there are options when there's something left behind, or you do need to get in touch with bills or anything. So it basically starts from pre-arrival until the post-departure that we are in touch with the guest. So that's a major role. And we are here to feel the guest at home. We're here to make sure that their stay is comfortable. They don't have any issues while they stay with us, and everything's being looked after. So if it's any other department, let's say housekeeping, or they work in the back, we are the one who face the guest, face the issues. So that's a major role in terms of hotels. We smile. We have to smile all the time. As I said, being the face of the property. So yeah, I mean that's a day-to-day job that we do every day.
It's how many years now?
So it's been around almost 11 years for me to be in the industry, both India and abroad. I started my career in India.
You studied in abroad?
So I did my bachelor's in India and started working.
Bachelor's in hotel management? In
hotel management.
Okay.
That was for 3 years from Mumbai. After that, I worked with one of the 5-star hotels in Hyderabad as a management trainee. Post that, I went to do my master's in Australia. So I was in Australia for around 6 to 7 years. So again, started my career over there as a club attendant, and then grew till duty manager. My last role in Australia was a duty manager. I was working with Crown Plaza. From there, I decided to move back last year. So last year, I joined IHG, and then currently got this opportunity to head the department. Amazing opportunity, amazing place to be in, good market to explore. So yeah.
These are whatever you said. मैं इसको दो एंगल में बताऊंगा कि these are, we can see a glorified thing you said about your profession, right? Let's cut through or go against it. Okay. So like, I don't know which family background you come. If you talk about the middle class family, it text says like, अरे होटल में नौकरी करना है. Did you face those things in your family or things when you started?
Actually, not. I had my friends who were working in hotels. I had many friends who were chefs and working in kitchens, so I kind of had that idea. But yes, I have faced that in the past, where some people have asked me, why do you work in a hotel? It's not a very good industry to work for. But if you compare like all the 5-star hotels, it is different. It's how you look at it. People need to understand that this is a job that we do. It's no different from any other white collar job that we have in the industry. It is different. It is hectic. We have that pressure 24 hours. It is different, but it is. I mean, it's no. I see it no other than any other job in the market. If you
Your
love-
parents comes from this industry?
No. So my parents, my mom is a homemaker.
Okay.
My dad comes from banking industry.
But he didn't told you that why you go for a government job.
No, he never forced me actually.
Okay.
He never forced me to come down to banking or anything. He always taught me do whatever you want. So in fact, my entire family, if I talk about my extended family, everyone's an engineer.
Okay.
Right. So
You're the odd one out.
I'm the odd one out. So until I did my 12th, I was kind of planning to do the engineering, so I did the competitive exams and everything, got the rank. All of a sudden, after getting the rank, before I could go for the admission, I was like, no, this is not what I want. I actually want to get into hotels. I want to do hospitality. So that's where I decided. Parents obviously supported me, so that was a good point. They never stopped me to do anything. So yeah, that's where journey started, and 11 years down the line, I'm still enjoying it, taking care of everything.
What will be the process like? I want to get a tips from you.
Right.
Like, okay, so let's take I just passed class 12 recently.
Right.
I want to go to hotel management. I am applying for some hotel management colleges in India.
Of course.
Whatever it is. You are in a big brand now. If you
Right.
see Radisson, like these are one of the toppest brand of India.
is,
Like
it is.
costly way, people lovable brands. How is it? Like how to get those brands? I don't think it's so easy. You just
Right.
can apply for it.
Of course.
And it's not that you will apply, you will get it.
Right.
So what's the process or what's the suggestion you want to give to?
See, if you want to have a good career in hotel management, I always suggest that you go for the good college. In India, there's all India.
How to
exam.
find a good college?
So IHM's is one of the best. If you want to go for IHM Delhi, IHM Mumbai, it's all India exam that you need to crack. So once you clear that, you get into IHMs. Those are the government colleges. If not the IHMs, you can go with colleges which are affiliated by or have the tie-up with some of the hotels.
Okay.
Like we have Taj Aurangabad. They have their college.
They have their own college?
They
or
have their own
tie-ups?
college.
Okay.
They have their own college. We have it in Manipal. We have it in Mumbai.
Okay.
The Park Hotels has it. The Oberai's has it. Oberai's has the learning school and everything. So if it's a private college, if you go with them, you get that opportunity to do the practical knowledge as well, right? So once you get into in the industry, I would say a practical knowledge in the industry is far better than, I mean, it is most important than any other skills that you may get. In a situation, let's say we work in front office, right? No books in the world can teach you how to handle a guest. Every day is different. No matter you have masters, you PhD or any other degree in the world, it cannot teach you how to handle a guest or how to make their stay comfortable. Right? It's the way you talk, and how that comes is by experience. So the more you work, the more practical knowledge that you have, that will succeed you in
Failure is going to happen in the initial days.
It will. There will be times when you stand at the lobby, or if I talk about front office, right? There will be times when you stand in the lobby and somebody is just shouting at you, and you cannot do anything. I mean, all you can do is apologize, and that too you're apologizing because of somebody else, right? But that's the industry, so you feel demotivated. There are times when you feel, why did you choose this industry? Why did you come over here? And what are you doing here? But we all say in the industry that whatever happens, just forget it. Let it be in the hotel. Do not take it home.
In a personal life.
Exactly. So that's a job. We have to listen, and because somebody who's shouting at the front desk or any associate as well, they are also frustrated, and they're paying money to stay. Right? They want to have that experience. Somewhere down the line, it did not get fulfilled. So I see any upset guest or any guest who's shouting or anything. I see that point where I can change the perception. So it's a plus point, right? Like if somebody is upset about some services, I see it as an opportunity to turn it around. I always prefer to turn it around, give them the experience, give them better than what they expected. And that's how we have happy customers and repeat customers. If I talk about Radisson Jammu, I would say 60 to 70% of the clientele that we have are repeat. they're the one who stay
That's
with
success.
us every single time, right? We have a tie-up. We have everybody, like, we have guests. When they give us a call, they don't even go through reservations. They give us a call. I need a room for tonight, or they WhatsApp us. Like, I need a room for tonight.
So you saw many celebrities and all.
Right.
Share your experience.
Right. I mean, in being in the industry, obviously in the 5 stars, you get to work and do all of that where celebrities come in. I remember the biggest one was when I was working in Hyderabad, when I started my career, there was CCL happening.
Okay.
So that was the time every celebrity was in-house. To name a few, we had Bobby Deol, we had Salman Khan, we had Salman Khan's brother.
Okay.
Sohail was there, and they were all chilled out, right? So initially I used to get scared, like,
I was going to ask that.
Exactly. Initially, like, first time when I saw somebody, I was like, oh, they're a celeb. I need to be taken care of.
How is their reaction? Like, I never met them. I want to know from your side.
Right. So I remember this incident when I was so same time during the CCL, right? Sohail Khan was supposed to check in, and he came in a little early, and his suite was not ready.
Okay.
So he came in. I met him. I was the manager on shift. I met him, showed him what options I had and everything, and I told him that the room that we have for you is actually getting ready. It will take another 30 minutes or so. He sat on the chair. He's like, "Get me a beer and sit down with me, and we'll go to the room after half an hour." And I was like, "Okay." Like, he was so chilled out, right? He was so chilled out. He's like, "It's fine. You take 1 hour. Just get me a beer." So, I mean, there are people who are so chilled out, right? I've seen Bobby Deol. So during the breakfast, I saw him getting up like at least 10 times just to get photos clicked with people. While he was having breakfast, there were people who actually disturbed him and wanted to have a picture. At least I saw him like getting up 10 times, leaving his breakfast in between, and getting the pictures clicked with his fans.
And what's about Salman Khan? Have you?
Salman Khan, yes. Salman now. When it comes to
big figure in Bollywood,
exactly. When it comes to Salman Khan or somebody else that big, it is difficult to manage.
Okay.
Right. I have seen where the entire front area of the hotel or the entrance of the hotel was blocked because somebody like Salman Khan was staying. Right, we had to take him out from the back door because he was getting late for the flight. Everybody just wanted to see him. And the moment for us, like the moment we leave the hotel, there are like press reporters who are outside trying to ask you, what's happening, who's staying, and there are protocols that we have to follow. Sometimes, we cannot disclose on who's staying. So those kind of things happen as well. But yeah, if any celebrity or any politicians they come in.
You experienced any politician?
Yeah, I've experienced many.
If you can say some of the names.
I mean, coming down to CMs, I don't know if we can take it. Recently, we had Mr. Channi staying with us. He's
ex-CM of Punjab.
Right, he stayed with us. He, in fact, was there for 3-4 days. So he stayed in this hotel. The very same place we are in right now.
In this one? This room?
Right, exactly. He was right here.
Let me tell you, this is one of the costliest room of Radisson Blu. Yeah. I'm thankful to all the people for giving us the opportunity to shoot here. Yeah.
So yeah, he was there for 3-4 days. We had to look after. And different MPs and MLAs, they normally come in.
Do you need to do a lot of pampering when this so-called VVIPs come, or they are very chill out?
Okay, so some of them are chilled out, but then there are a lot of things that we need to take care of it. Number one is the security.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to come into that because Jammu it's like a place with a lot of things goes on.
Right.
So if you can continue on that part, I was going to come.
Of course. So security part coming from once the room is ready, we need to make sure that nobody enters, depending on what's the profile of the guest who's coming in. So every movement of the staff is also tracked, right? So who walks in, who entered the room, what did they do, what kind of request it was, and making sure the name or any identity is not disclosed to anyone outside the hotel. So we have to follow all these security protocols, to make sure that they are all
Is it
safe.
your own hotel's protocols, or do you need to discuss with their security management as well?
We do need to. I mean, see, we have our own hotel's protocol.
Okay.
That especially any politician coming in or any celebrity come in, we do not disclose their name or anything, right? But there's certain things when it comes to their
Disclose to whom?
to anyone.
Okay. Even to your people, own people, hotel people.
I would say there would be certain things which I would be hiding from some of the staff members as
Okay,
well.
okay.
Depending on where they're working. So working in front of is obviously everything is right in front of you. The reservation details and everything, right? But the other things which you may need to hide it. So yes, we do have to take that call as well. Now, when it comes to their security protocol. There are certain items when they want their thing to be followed. For example, recently we had a VVIP movement in the hotel. So we especially got instructions that once the room is ready, their team would be inspecting the rooms.
Okay.
For anything in the room, and once they seal it, nobody can enter the room.
Okay.
Right. So we had to follow that. Now that's not a hotel's protocol, but that's an individual person's protocol. Right. So you have to follow that as well. So it depends on who's traveling and who's coming down to your hotel. But yeah, that's.
You mentioned a beautiful thing, while talking, that you need to be a very smiling face when things goes against. I will connect it with, as I said, I mostly do with the bureaucrats.
Right.
So they say you need to be diplomat.
Right.
We can't use that word manipulation because when, like, example, I'm a client and I'm angry all of a sudden.
Right.
I'm going to say anything I want because, and in return, if I use some slangs also, you can't do anything to me. You need to be that cool and calm, and you need to manipulate the thing.
Of course.
But I would rather use the word diplomat. So basically, diplomacy also plays in your profession.
Exactly.
If you can share some moment, there's a hot moment. I'm not going to mention somebody.
Right.
Your experience, so that we can learn from you.
Right. See, as I said, working in the industry, it comes with experience, right?
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Many people think this is a glamorous industry.
Right.
The hard work behind the lens is not being shown.
Exactly.
Mostly people say, "Arey, tera to zindagi sort hai."
Exactly.
I want to show that hard work or that reality.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. So. As I said, it comes with the experience, right? Any situation, how do you handle? I remember there was while I was working abroad, there was this Indian guest who was staying alone. He was drunk. He constantly kept on shouting at my staff.
Okay.
Right. No, my staff was angry. I was angry. He was not listening to me.
Okay.
Right. I had no security personnel there. I was the only one who could manage it or who had to manage it. Right. Luckily, from one of his pocket, his cigarettes fell off.
Okay.
Right? And he picked it up, put it in the pocket. I saw it. This was before I interacted with him. Right? And all I did was took him out for a smoke. I'm like, do you smoke? He's like, yeah. I'm like, why don't you go for a smoke? Let's go. Took him for a walk. He had 2 cigarettes. And he went to the room and slept. Not a single complaint.
What do you say there?
Nothing. He just wanted that 5 minutes of time so he could relax.
Okay.
That's it. So it was not about, he was not actually complaining about something. I mean, definitely he was complaining and shouting, but it's the way you handle it, right? He just needed that 5 minutes of time so he could sit down, have a cigarette and relax.
This is called hitting the right point.
Exactly. I mean, that happened. He went to the room, and next day he wrote me a letter, like a message. He's like, "Thanks for the wonderful stay. Would definitely connect with you when I come in next." So again, no books in the world will teach you how to handle this. It all comes with experience.
Any like, ever feel like this is one of the good experience that moments come, you feel like I can't make it, but you then turned it somewhere. Had any situations like that? You tried, but you were seeing failures. Okay.
Right.
At the last moment you saw, I made it.
See, there are a lot of experiences like that. Working in the industry, it is very stressful, right? It sometimes it looks impossible.
Okay.
For example, if you walk into any office around the world, right? If you do one thing at a time, you can just focus on that particular thing. For our industry, I would say, even if you're doing something, if you're doing billing, if you're talking to the guests, something, right? Another guest walks in front. No matter what you're doing, you have to multitask, right? So I've had experiences in the past where, we were busy, or we were not busy at all. We had very limited staff, and all of a sudden, within half an hour, we have the entire flight cancellation, and everybody is checking into the hotel. So I've seen that, at 2 o'clock in the night, some 400 people trying to check into the hotel because the flight got cancelled, and there are no rooms in the city available. I have only one staff. So 400 people versus me and one of my staff member. Sometimes, it looks impossible to start with them. Like, why are we doing it? Can I just say no and walk off? But at the end, once it happens, you feel you have done something. You've got that revenue for the hotel. You have helped somebody have an accommodation for the night. So more than the revenue, more than generating the revenue or the profits for the hotel, it's about somebody who's in stress. You give them the accommodation for the night, and they're relaxed, and next day they go to their own journey or wherever they're flying to. So that kind of experience, I've had that in the past. I mean, different experiences, definitely. I mean, once I sit down, I recall all these things. It's a good experience. It is. It looks stressful to start with. At the first, it looks very stressful on how do we manage all this. But yeah, it is fun working in hotels.
Yeah.
Very different from any other industry, I would say. Specialty. It's you must have had glavti kebabs, the mutton glavti, right?
Yeah.
These are the veg glavti kebabs that we have. This is made up of from rajma.
Okay.
I would definitely suggest you to try this.
Okay. We're going to use spoons. Okay. So in your industry, we can have and talk.
Sure.
So,
There you go.
you need to learn everything. You're studying from housekeeping. There's nothing you are in front office now,
Right.
But you know all the things now.
Exactly. In the hotel, when we start the industry, you have it.
No, sir. Alone, I won't have it. You take na.
Okay, so in the industry, we have to start with everything. We learn about. So there are four core departments. There's housekeeping, front office, food and beverage, and food and beverage production, which is the kitchen. This is what we need to learn to start with, and then probably in the industry, second year in the course, or when we do our bachelor's, second year. That's when we do our industrial training. That's generally for 6 months, and that's when we decide which department to go for. We work in all the departments, but that's when we make up our mind on which department we want to go for. For me, it was very clear from day one that I wanted to be in front office. So in fact, I did my training of 6 months only in front office. I did not work in any other department.
You like that part?
I loved that part. I loved it. I never wanted to be in any other department. So, I worked in Sheraton hotels in Mumbai. 6 months. I think 4.5, 5 months I was in front office, and rest I was working in F&B.
Okay.
Just wanted to get that idea on how does food and beverage business works. Yeah, and after that, once you start working, you always have an opportunity, where you want to be in the industry. So, talking about my experience, I started my career as a general management trainee. So you either start as an associate, which is the line staff, I would say. Or there's something called as management training. Now, management training is something where there's 2 years of career, 2 years of training, and then you get promoted as assistant manager. All right. So I got trained in front of the house in front office, and got promoted as assistant manager front office. So this is where the hotel. So general management training is where hotel can, if they see your potential in any other department, they may put you in any other department as well.
Okay.
Right. So, but obviously you get to choose as well, right? It's not like the hotel asks you to work in this department. So you get your say as well. So I would say after the bachelor's is when you can actually decide, or you actually decide which department to go for.
Okay.
Right.
So there's a few last questions that I want to ask. Like, it's like I'm not going to say you the exact figures. Like for a layman, like how much you all earn as like one of the senior most. You can say it like how much iPhone you can buy, or like that. So get a brief idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is, I would say, in hospitality, it's more than the money or the salary part that we get. It's the experience that we get, right? Like for example, I would say somebody who's earning a very normal amount, right? They get to stay in 5 stars.
Okay.
The benefits that they get. They can just walk into, let's say they're working for one of the brands, right? They're working for Radisson. They can walk into any Radisson and they get this benefits of 50% off on the food. So they get to experience, right? They want to book a room, they have their contacts, they can book a room at a very discounted rate.
Okay.
Right? Some of the hotels, they give you free nights. So the experience that you get working in these 5-star luxury brands is much more important than the salary.
Okay.
But talking about the salary, it is difficult to answer depending upon which hotel you work and which city. Probably, I don't know how to answer that, but probably.
Can we buy 2 iPhones?
We can definitely buy more than one.
Okay.
we can buy more than one for sure. But yeah, I would say it's mostly the benefits that.
Benefits, you mean to say like in Pan India Radisson, you can book a room in some discounts.
Exactly. So see, the brands that I've worked for in my entire career, I have stayed. You name a city in India, I've stayed. And trust me, I never paid a penny for the room.
But इसके एक disadvantage भी तो है. काफी दोस्त तो फोन करके तो बोलते होंगे यार करवा दे यार तू तो वहाँ पे.
Exactly. There are always friends and family rates that you can go for. See, it's for any other industry. The moment an employee is traveling, you get much more benefits, right?
Yeah.
So, talking about, let's say if I'm traveling and going down to Delhi right now, right? You talk about a hotel, let's say I'm staying there. I would always, I will be knowing somebody in that hotel, right? I can just give them a call. We either get an upgrade or anything. So those kind of things, we get benefits. It's like any other industry.
It's like similar. If you see about the IS IPS officers, they have their own batchmates in other states.
Exactly.
So you get all this, just give a call, because your batchmate is going to be SP of some area. Like similarly for your case.
Exactly. Exactly. It works. That's how it works. Stays as I mentioned earlier, talking about the benefits, right? I've stayed in most of the 5-star hotels in India while I was working for them. We have these benefits where either it's the point system or something else. We get to stay in hotels, and it is kind of complimentary, right? Let's say for RHG, if I talk about, if you earn points, you can use those points to stay.
Okay.
There are brands where you sign up a guest and a staff gets certain amount of points.
Okay.
The moment they cross a certain amount, you get a free night.
Oh.
Right. So that's how we stay in hotels. That's how we stay in 5-star hotel.
Okay.
Right. I remember last year I got married recently, 2020. We got married and we traveled around India. I must have stayed in at least 10 to 12 different five-star hotels. Did not pay a single penny for my honeymoon. Obviously paid for the food and everything, but not for the rooms. So added on advantage plus the salary. So it is good.
All the people watching, try to connect him with anywhere you see him in Jammu. I hope that he can arrange you something like that. Okay, on a better note, when I ended, amazing experience talking to you. I started the day, with zero knowledge of a hotelier.
Right.
Now I got at least 10%, I must say. And we are meeting from last 2-3 days. I see your life. Like I was in the office, you were continuously, somebody is coming, your GM sir is sending something, somebody is working on. How was your experience, talking with us? Don't be sugarcoated, because just if you can say anything, whatever you feel like, you can share.
See, initially you were, for me, you were a guest, right? So obviously, I was training you as a guest, but later on came to know that you're doing this shoot and all. You wanted to know about the industry, so we started sharing the insights, right? And you have seen me working. Like if I'm doing one thing, there will be second, third, multitasking. This happens, right? It is good experience that we share because we share this kind of work with someone and try to make them understand on how our industry works, right? Because we generally be with people who are from hotel industry and they know how it works. But it's good to interact with someone who is actually interested in knowing how the industry works. It is good to know, and I really want people to understand that it's not a bad industry to work for at the end of the day. It gives you a lot of benefits. It gives you a lot of exposure, especially how to be a good human being. How to grow emotionally. Because especially if you work in the front of the house, you deal with different kind of people, right? You get that maturity within 4-6 months of working in the industry, right? So it's also a different experience. I would definitely suggest everybody to at least do their trainings in the hotel, to get that experience.
To at least one thing that is very much needed in our life, there was days which I feel you might know better, you have more experience than me, that there was a time when your exam marks used to help grow in life. Right now, it's all about how you manage those lobbies.
Exactly.
How you manhandling is a huge game right now.
It is.
And somewhere I feel like when I talk to my parents, they said कि यार अच्छे से पढ़ लेना, नंबर अच्छे आएंगे. I tell them सिर्फ नंबर से अभी कुछ नहीं होने वाला. जिंदगी बदल गया है and situations have changed.
Exactly.
If you don't have contacts, if you don't, somebody will say, how will I make contact? You bloody need to go and make contacts.
Exactly.
Nothing will come easy. You need to make that. You need to meet people, certain people, and that's how you grow in life.
Definitely. I believe gone are those days when our parents used to just study and sit for exam, get a government job, and that's it. Spend their entire life. I've seen my family and my parents and their generation have done the same. Sat down, did exam, got into some industry, and then that's it. Worked for the entire life. I think gone are those days. Education, I would say, it does help you out, but it's definitely not the only thing that you need. You need contacts. You need to be emotionally developed. You need to know how to work in the industry, any industry, let it be. You need that. You need that experience. You need that practical experience. I'm not saying you should start working when you're young, like very young, but you should have some kind of work experience while you're studying as well, even while your college is. I have staff who are actually doing their college.
Oh,
right. So they're doing. So by the time you actually graduate a regular college, 3 years degree college, right? I have a staff member who already has an experience of 3 years.
Oh my God.
So they're way ahead of anyone who's just focusing on studies. And as I said, it's not the numbers that we look at. So obviously, someone with the experience of 3 years, by the time they graduate, graduate, I would be more than happy to hire him or her, rather than somebody who's a graduate.
Just a fresher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely, it's the contacts that helps.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
It's
you so
another
much.
pleasure to have you, and really learned a lot.
Thank you
A new experience.